Ever feel like you need to be rolling in dough to start investing? Like, got to be Warren Buffett or something.
Right.
Well, good news is you don't. We're diving into a podcast all about investing with just $100.
Yeah. $100. This podcast is awesome, by the way. It really shows you don't need to be some kind of millionaire to get started.
Totally. They broke it down into 3 main ways to invest that 100. Robo-advisors,
Robo-advisors.
index funds, or ETFs.
Those are good ones.
And, get this, fractional shares.
Okay, I love talking about those. Where do you want to start?
Let's kick things off with robo-advisors. What's the deal with those?
Imagine, like, a financial advisor in your pocket, but way cheaper.
Okay, I like the sound of that already.
Right. You basically tell them, here's my goals, here's how much risk I can stomach.
Don't burn my toast.
Exactly. And they build, like, a custom portfolio just for you.
So no need to become a stock market whiz overnight.
Nope. They handle all the nitty-gritty rebalancing stuff.
Yeah.
You just chill.
Perfect for someone who wants to invest, but, like, without the stress headaches.
100%. Now, if you're more of a hands-on learner, want to pick your own investments, index funds and ETFs might be up your alley.
Ooh. All right. Tell me more about those.
Okay, picture a basket.
A basket.
Yeah, but instead of, like, kittens or whatever, it's full of stocks.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
So instead of putting all your eggs in one company's basket, you buy this index fund or ETF that tracks, like, a whole bunch of them.
Spreading the love and the risk.
Exactly. Like, maybe you dig tech but don't know which pony to bet on. Boom. Tech sector index fund.
Diversification. Smarter, not harder, right?
You got it.
Yeah.
Now, let's say you've got your eye on a super pricey company. Think like
Tesla.
Tesla, exactly. One share's what, hundreds of dollars?
Yeah, not exactly pocket change.
Enter fractional shares. You can buy a slice of that Tesla stock.
Whoa, like a pizza.
Exactly. You get a piece of the action, even with just your $100.
That's awesome. Makes those big players feel way more accessible.
Totally. No more looking in from the outside feeling.
I'm liking these options so far, but how do you know which one to pick?
Ah, the million-dollar question. And we'll dive into that right after this. So you've got your robo-advisors, your index funds, your fractional shares.
Sounds like a lot to choose from. How do you pick which one is right for you?
Well, it's like, think of it like this. You wouldn't use a hammer to saw a piece of wood, right?
Definitely not my tool of choice for that.
Exactly. Each of these, they're kind of like tools in your investing toolbox.
Okay, I'm following.
It all boils down to, well, you.
Yeah.
Your personality, how much time you want to spend on this stuff.
Got it.
Like if you're more of a set it and forget it kind of person, robo-advisor might be your jam.
Makes sense. Let the algorithm do the heavy lifting.
Right. They basically ask you about your risk tolerance.
Risk tolerance. What's that exactly? I hear that a lot, but...
Good question. Basically, how comfy are you with maybe losing a little bit of money in the short term? Someone with a high risk tolerance, they're like, bring on the roller coaster. I'm in it for the long haul.
Okay, I see.
Low risk tolerance. They're more like slow and steady wins the race. Keep it smooth.
So how does this all tie back into choosing between robo-advisors, index funds, and the fractional shares?
Good point. So with robo-advisors, they usually figure out your risk tolerance right off the bat. Then they build your portfolio around that.
Okay.
But if you're more hands-on, building your own portfolio with index funds or ETFs, you get to control the risk a bit more by picking specific funds.
And fractional shares.
Yeah. Those can be a bit riskier because you're focusing on just one company. But you can spread the risk a bit by grabbing fractional shares in a few different companies.
So it's all about diversifying no matter which way you slice it.
You got it. It's like they say, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Now, if you're the kind of person who loves digging into different companies, doing your research...
Due diligence.
Exactly. You might really enjoy picking out your own index funds and ETFs, one that focus on industries you find interesting.
Makes sense. And of course, there's always the option of those fractional shares for when you want to own a piece of a specific company, even if you're working with a smaller budget.
100%. It's about like matching your investing style to your personality and comfort level. Remember, there's no one right answer here.
Okay, love that. So let's say someone's listening to us right now. They're totally convinced they're ready to invest their $100. What do they actually do?
Oh, it's way easier than you might think. First things first, you got to decide which of these methods is calling your name.
Okay.
You want that hands-off experience. Robo-advisor, more hands-on. Index funds or ETFs, chasing those big-name companies. Fractional shares, baby.
Big decisions. But once you've made that choice, Then what?
Next step, got to find a platform where you can actually do the investing. Robo-advisors usually have their own platforms, but for index funds, ETFs, those fractional shares, you'll need a brokerage account.
Ugh, brokerage accounts. Aren't there tons of those out there?
Yeah, there's a bunch. It can seem kind of overwhelming at first.
Definitely.
But good news is most of these brokerage firms, they've got a ton of info on their websites, like comparing different options, helping you choose the right one.
That's good to know.
Yeah, you want to look at things like fees, account minimums, how easy their platform is to use.
User-friendly is always a plus. What about actually opening the account? Is that pretty straightforward?
Oh, totally. Most of the time, you can do it all online. Takes like 5 minutes.
Seriously.
Yeah, once your account's all set up, boom, deposit that $100 and you're off to the races.
Wow. No need to, like, call up a financial advisor or deal with a ton of paperwork?
Nope. Investing's gotten so much easier, especially for beginners. And you know what? The sooner you start, the better.
That's what I like to hear. Okay, this has been super insightful. We've talked about the what, the why, even the how of investing that first $100. But before we wrap up this deep dive, what about the so what? Someone might be thinking, what difference can $100 really make?
Oh, that is such a good point. It's not even really about the $100 itself. It's about switching your mindset, going from I can't afford to invest to I can afford to invest.
Yeah, it's like taking that first step. Once you realize you can invest, even a little bit, it kind of opens up a whole new world.
It really does. And, it's not always about getting rich quick or anything. It's more like you're planting a seed.
I like that. And like any good gardener will tell you, time is on your side. Speaking of time, what's the deal with compound growth?
Ah, compound growth. That's the good stuff. It's basically like your money makes money, and then that money makes money. It just keeps building on itself.
So even if you start small,
Yeah.
like with our $100, over time, it can really add up.
You got it. Time is your best friend when it comes to investing. The sooner you get started, the more time your money has to work its magic.
Makes sense. And luckily, you don't need to be some kind of Wall Street hotshot to get started these days.
Right. That's what's so cool about this podcast we've been diving into. It really highlights how accessible investing has become.
Totally. Between apps and websites, there's so much information out there now. It's like having a financial advisor in your back pocket.
Exactly. So there's really no need to feel intimidated. Just remember, investing, it's not about getting rich quick. It's about making your money work for you in the long run.
Love it. It's about building a solid foundation for your future, whatever that looks like. Maybe it's buying a house, retiring early, or just having the freedom to pursue your passions.
Exactly. It's your money, your future, your call.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Okay, before we wrap up this deep dive, one last thought-provoking question for our listeners. We've been talking about U.S.-based companies this whole time, but what about the rest of the world?
Oh, good one. You're talking about geographic diversification.
Mm.
It's like, just like you want to spread your risk by investing in different companies, you can do the same thing with different countries.
So even if you're starting small, it might be worth looking into global options.
Totally. It's something to keep in mind as you learn more and your investments grow. It's all about finding that sweet spot between risk and reward. What works for you?
Awesome. So remember, folks, the best investment you can make is in yourself. Keep learning, keep exploring, and hey, maybe one day you'll be the one sharing your investing journey on a podcast.
Hear, hear. Happy investing, everyone.
And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive into the world of investing, even with just $100. We hope this episode has inspired you to get out there and start building your own brighter financial future.
Cheers to that.
Until next time.